Hello, and welcome to your dinner time, or maybe your lunchtime, or maybe just snack time. Whatever meal it is that you're watching with this video, I hope you enjoy it. We are on the third day, the third poem in the Sayori round. So it's time to pick some Sayori words. And, well, we're going to progress all the way to the worst part of the game and then stop, because we're trying to see a less miserable ending here, which I'm still skeptical even exists. I have been tricked before by this loving community. That's just part of our relationship at this point. And what can I say? I love the excitement. And despite knowing that I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to proceed anyways, because that's just the kind of relationship we're in. Okay, we picked mostly Sayori words here. It's the third day. Oh, man. The last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Now, I must say, I have been far more impressed with Anime Brady this route. I really think that Sayori brings out the best in him. And it's given me a kind of a new appreciation for him, a new lens. And so I'm willing to give him a little more grace this time around, because he's about to go through some rough stuff. Some really rough stuff. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. We're going to proceed from here until the best girl shows up. And there she is. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything all right? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Oh, this like hits it actually very differently with the Anime Brady that I've seen in the dialogues with Sayori. Because before he was sort of overlooking her in his infatuation and pursuit of the other characters, a sort of dumb lust with Yuri and a kind of on his toes needing to try to impress Natsuki. But with Sayori, like, we've really been vibing. And not even just in a romantic context. Like, I think the best parts of their friendship have been on display in the last couple of scenes. And I actually feel bad for him now. Like, this feels like he's being rejected. Before, it was very one-sided how much affection was in the relationship, in the front matter of it at least. Obviously, they always care for each other as friends, but in this instance, we've really been connecting a lot, and that's a very difficult and confusing thing to suddenly feel like the dynamic in a relationship has changed and you don't know why. And unfortunately, I also see their response to conflict as being Anime Brady is kind of a pursuer. Like, he really goes into the conflict as much as he can. Like, he's a little more confrontational, and his anxiety response to insecurity is to like pursue, ask questions, get clarification, get closer to someone. And Sayori's response is to withdraw. And so you get this sort of hot, cold, and it makes for some very confusing emotions. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine. See? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, all right. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back to everyone else. But the conversation's already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. So we know they spend some time together, and we know that this is where Monica's fuckery begins. And at this instance, I mostly want to see the next poem. Because I can only endure so much more of Monica's manipulation. I know I recently said that she has like kind of the best resilience of the four, but that is an observational statement. That is not a declaration of my personal tolerance to her. Because at this point in the story, I kind of can't stand her, especially now that I know what Sayori is about to go through. So let's see. This is your best one so far. It's really nice, Brady. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything all right? Of course. Everything's fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Why are you lying to me, Sayori? Well, all right. Hey, Brady. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought you would try writing your poems like the way Yuri does, or even Natsuki. But in the end, yeah, I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else? Oh, they're bringing out the sad music. Wait. Of course I do. But that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you sometimes have to put up with me. I sometimes have to put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. Oh. He's being so real with her. And this is how the poem came out. Oh! Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. Wait. My initial reaction was to be like, oh, that's very saccharine. But I'm not sure this should be said in this way to this person in this precise moment, or really in any moment. Not because it's not true, but I don't think that it's communicating the entire idea, like in a way that Sayori's probably ready to receive it. I think that Sayori's in a state of mind right now where she's very nervous about the kind of attachment that she has. In previous iterations, it was very much a, I'm losing the attachment because you're becoming more attached to these other people and now I'm useless. But Sayori's particular issues stay the same, essentially, even though we're getting close to her. Now she's fearful of the fact that she has the attachment. And does she somehow get in the way of us and who we might deserve someone better than her? She doesn't have enough belief in herself that she is deserving of our primary attention. This is why, like, it doesn't matter whether you tell her you love her or not. Both outcomes create the same insecurity. Like, this person doesn't love me enough, or they love me so much, and that's a bad thing because they really can't deep down, and I've distracted them from who they can truly be with. There's just such a deep disfavoring of herself that I don't think that she should hear this right now. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking about you. I mean, it's sweet. It's sweet that he's saying it. Sayori. No. Brady. I don't. No! God damn it. I fucking hate being correct. What do you even mean, girl? Who decides? Who decides? That's a question for you. Who decides whether you deserve something? It's kind of why I've been leaning into this idea so hard that, like, it doesn't really matter what you think about the affection that I am giving. If I am giving it to you, it is mine to give and yours to receive or to reject, but you can't claim that it's somehow undeserving if it is mine to give. You don't have a better understanding of the value that I'm putting in than I do myself. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori. I glance around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori. I've probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. She doesn't know, Brady. But I am going easy on him. He's trying his best here. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Brady. You can't say that to a therapist. We know it's not true. You're just deflecting, Sayori. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone. Okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Oh, this is such a frustrating thing to talk about because I know that there is nothing we can do to alter the outcome of an interaction like this, but I do think it is really important to showcase this because you're going to run into situations like this all the time where you want to communicate something to someone and they've decided that they are not wanting to hear it. Like, this wasn't a fight that we had. There wasn't a major values conflict. We're not shouting at each other. It wasn't even really that a boundary was set. Like, this was a total passive disengagement because Sayori's very conflict avoidant of the feelings that she's having, and pushing further was not really working for us. And I don't necessarily have like a great response or piece of advice for how to proceed in that situation. If someone decides that you can't communicate with them, you can't just sort of bulldoze your way over this. I mean, you can, but there's consequences to that. What I can recommend is that there are some things you probably don't want to do. And it has to do with how you proceed in most problems. In situations like this, I will return to the dialectic behavioral toolkit that suggests 5 ways to deal with a problem. And the acronym here is SCREW. Screw the problem. We can try to solve the problem, typically by trying to make it better. That's kind of what Anime Brady was doing here. How can I solve the problem? By telling you that you're thinking about this wrong, or communicating my affection more clearly. This wasn't really working. We can change how we feel about the problem. Now we're talking mostly about sort of cognitively reframing our perspective around it, questioning things like, is this really my issue to solve? Am I in the, right? Am I justified to try to solve it in this way? And if we can't solve it and we can't change how we feel, we can try to radically accept the problem as is. And the radical part of acceptance is meaning in totality. So not accepting partially, but fully. There's a lot of stuff that you've probably accepted, but if you find yourself continuing to bring it up and reiterate it to people in your life and talk about it, and it still takes up a big mind share and it justifies, things in your life, like there's probably parts of it you have struggled to accept. I always come back to the example of like a breakup, because you're going to accept the fact that the breakup has happened and that the relationship is over. Well, maybe some people really don't, but you're going to accept that the relationship is no longer what it was, especially if you're no longer seeing the person, but you may still be hung up on some parts of it. And like, if you continue to hear from yourself or other people, like that relationship affecting things in your life 5 years down the line and 6 years down the line and well past its sort of like maybe true influence in your life, like then yeah, there's a lot of it we haven't accepted yet. We may not fully accept our part, or we may accept that the relationship is over, but not that the communication is over. Like we still might be going back and forth. Like, so radical acceptance is like, you need to stop with all of it. You have to accept the whole thing. It is over. And those are sort of the productive approaches to a problem. You should try to solve it, okay? Try to solve problems in your life. Do what you can for them. If you can't solve them, and some problems you can't solve, you probably want to try and change how you feel about them. See if there is a way to live with the problem in a different way than just continuing to try to throw yourself at it with problem solving and not being successful and being frustrated by that. And beyond this, like really all you can do at some point is radically accept that there is no further solution that you can manifest, and changing your feeling might not lead to a dramatic difference in how this problem exists in your life. So you may be thinking, oh, that's only 3 letters, Brady. What are the other 2? Well, you actually can do more with your problems, which is you can entertain the misery of them, which essentially means complaining. Like you can just live in the pity party of the problem for as long as you like, as long as you want to satisfy yourself with. And unfortunately, like this is actually where people go after they can't solve the problem and they don't have any skills really to sort of reframe their perspective. They're not interested in tapping into alternative sources of empathy, or, they're not interested in trying to change how they feel. They're blaming, they're unwilling to accept any responsibility. And they're not really ready to accept anything. So we just entertain the misery of it. You just hear how saturated someone's life is with a problem or several problems, and they're not really exploring solutions to them or changes in perspective or any of that shit. You can absolutely do this. This is your freedom to choose this route in the problem-solving scheme. You can entertain the misery of it. And lastly, you can always make the problem worse. You could always make it worse. Some people's attempts to solve the problem, like their method at solving problems, tends to make things worse. If your method of problem solving is to if someone's method of problem solving is to shout and be abrasive and controlling, well, that's not really solving the problem. It's probably making it worse. But in our mind, we're convinced that this is solving the problem. It's a little bit like what Monica's doing. Right? She has a problem here, which is, I'm trapped in this video game and there's no way out. Can I solve this problem? Well, I can try to sort of manipulate the other characters and make Anime Brady and the person that controls him fall in love with me. Like, that feels like a solution. That's what she's trying. But ultimately, it is actually making it worse. It's not solving the problem. It doesn't in the end. Is she doing anything to sort of change how she feels about it? Yeah, I think along the way we see her trying to cope with this, like in some of the aberrant pop-ups and stuff, the little scripts that are sometimes redacted or whatever. Like you see her sort of trying to understand what's going on and reframe what she can do about it. She does not reach radical acceptance until much later. And yeah, I do feel like she kind of entertains the misery of it. Like, that's kind of like what some of the stuff that she's saying in the Monica room is like. I didn't get through all the dialogue, but some of it was pretty cynical. It was very much like, well, nothing's meaningful at all, so let's just sit here and stare at each other because this is all we have. Like, that's just the depressing reality that we're in. And let's just entertain the misery of it. Let's just throw an infinite pity party about it. So you can tell a lot about someone by how they sort of approach problems, right? How do they screw a problem? So coming back to the original question, like, what do I usually recommend for people who are in a situation like Anime Brady? Who is feeling like, what can I do? Sayori doesn't want to talk to me. She's not listening to what I'm saying. She has the wrong understanding of her place in my life. Like, she's important to me, but she thinks that being important is somehow a distraction from who I should be with these other people or whatever. Can I try to solve this? Well, maybe not. Maybe you can't solve it. You can't solve that for her, for sure. You can try to change how you feel about it by sort of distracting yourself and spending time with the other characters. And he doesn't know what we know, which is that things don't turn out well. But like, this would be a moment of reflecting on who Sayori is at her core, and sort of trust that she needs some space from this. Like, this is kind of my area. This is like all the stuff you learn in therapy, and just general lots of cognitive reframing, cognitive reconstruction kind of tools. And at some level, he may just need to radically accept it. Like, it's not a great feeling to come to that conclusion that there is nothing I can do here. But if you arrive at this, it may prevent you from doing one of these other two very unproductive things, which, like, we sort of don't land in radical acceptance sometimes and decide, like, well, I'm going to entertain the misery of it. And, oh my God, my friend Sayori, she's so, distraught, and there's nothing I can do. And, like, we could certainly just make our experience worse by living in the misery of it. This isn't going to solve the problem. And we could certainly make it worse. We could follow her and pester her and upset her even more. And, we could do all kinds of stuff to make it worse. So, like, what's the best option here? It might be to accept at some level that right now there isn't anything further we can do for Sayori. When I think about Sayori herself and how she's responding to the problems that she's facing, for example, I would probably put this in front of her and say, what do you think you're doing right now by pushing people away? What item on the list here are we choosing? And she would probably say, I'm solving the problem. I'm taking myself out of the picture so that Brady can have fun with everyone else. It's heartbreaking. You may have felt like this even, like, that's a solution. I'm gonna remove myself from a situation or from an environment or distance myself from people because I am making their experience worse. I'm solving that problem. The problem is me being there. Well, that is telling us that you think that you are the problem, and that the problem is not really somewhere here. Like, the feeling you have about it is not particularly nuanced. Like, Sayori does not have a nuanced view of what's going on here. She has a very blunted, by insecurity, view that any affection we get from Anime Brady is like somehow her manipulating us or being a distraction from someone we're actually better suited for. She's not confident that she has enough of her own to offer us, that attraction or that connection is like really worth it or justified, not deserved. What does a cat think in general? But what do they think that they're doing? They're solution finders. They are always looking for the solution to the problem of, I am not being paid attention to. I'm not being fed in this exact moment. I'm not being scritched. I'm not being obsessed over. This is a creature who would never dare say to me, I do not deserve all of the fountain of attention that you have to give and more. If my cat could talk, she would say, Brady, I would squeeze you for every surplus drop of attention that exists in your pores. And I would say, Miarina, you're being quite dramatic. But I think that's what she would say. And as humans, truly, the only option we can choose is to radically accept. Radically accept the duties and responsibilities that we have to pamper these lovely creatures for nothing in return. So yeah, I would be asking Sayori, you know, in the therapeutic dialogue, like, what do you think that your actions are causing here? Like, do you think that this is problem solving, taking yourself out of the situation? What do we think we're solving? Well, I'm distracting Brady from a better experience, or I'm pulling everyone else's fun down by being there and being sad on a day that they're supposed to be having fun, whatever. And I would try to work with her on getting to radical acceptance of, like, you're not in control over the value someone else assigns to you. You're not in control of this. You don't get to decide that, you know, if Brady has it for you, that you are the sole judgment of whether that's valid or not. Like, there's actually some pretty extreme assumptions there that, like, well, I'm getting affection from him, but he's misled by me. Like, he doesn't actually want me. He doesn't want me in his life. There's something better for him. I know better for him. Like, there's actually a lot of, like, kind of egocentric ideas in that. At the same time, it's feeding an insecurity about how I'm not enough. Like, there's a lot of strange wires crossing there. But you are not allowed to assign or reassign the value that someone else puts on you. It's not for you to do. Stop pretending that your acceptance of someone else's value for you is the thing that gives it value. Because you'll decide that you don't accept it and that there is no value there. And, like, radical acceptance, it's not to say that once she would do that and say, oh, okay, I accept that, you know, Anime Brady has this, like, affection for me, or that he's being genuine, and now I have to, like, accept that, you know, we can be together and stuff. Like, it's not about progressing it that far even. It's just about accepting that she can decide, you know, to put more distance or that sort of thing, but she doesn't get to decide that, like, what we're saying to her is genuine or not. If she wants to still, like, go our separate ways, whatever, that's her right. Like, but do not call me a liar that I don't actually think you're the best girl out of all of them. That hurts, Sayori. It fucking hurts. And you know what? I don't like things that hurt. And I'm gonna try to solve that problem by distracting myself from it. And talking to these other girls, because I got nothing left with Sayori not here. Let's talk to Natsuki. This one's all right. All right. Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. He's really getting dogged on in this route. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems? Anyway, ooh, that's like, he's kind of lashing out a little bit there. It would seem like, isn't that more of a compliment to me? And maybe he's not lashing out. Like, maybe he's being a little more playful. I don't know. I'm feeling emotional. I don't have a good read on this stuff. Always. No. Gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's... It's not like you'd actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Oh, shucks. Oh, even though this isn't the Natsuki route, I still enjoy their dynamic. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. Oh, I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry. I was too. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I really should just wash my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing even happened. I'll be your beach. Wait a second. This is like a totally new poem, to me at least. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminish your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go to. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams, and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea, and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail, set you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. This is like kind of a complicated poem. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. What? Why does that hit so hard? I don't even know like what I feel the main message is just reading it once. Now I'm going to go through it again. I mean, a basic reading, I guess, is that she can be someone who helps put some distance between the things that typically occupy someone's mind. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminish your wonder over the years. That's such an interesting way to put that, that there's a very tangible relationship between like anxiety and reduced curiosity, reduced wonder, reduced presence of mind. Like actually a lot of the stuff that I talked about in the resilience episode. And she can be the one to free you from the prism of your anxious mind. We all need a Natsuki. This is such a nice little, I guess it's a paragraph. I don't know if you call them paragraphs in poems. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail, set you free in my windy sail, and remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I love this idea that the fact that I am someone connecting with you should remind you that you are inherently a wonderful person. This is like a poem that Sayori needs to read. This poem is for Sayori. Can we get this to her, please? If you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. It's such a great message. It's such a fucking great message. God, I love Natsuki. She's wonderful. Yeah. She knows it too. I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. It's very insightful. I should have given her more credit. I mean, I know I ranked her pretty highly in the resilience, the power scaling, but maybe she should have deserved more. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later. Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it. Or whatever. You can really see her doing that too. Making us write about a simple topic, then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. No, it's okay, Natsuki. You can care. You're in safe company here. It's okay. It's okay that you care. We won't judge you for it. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. That's true. It was still her kind of straightforward, easy to parse message style, but Yeah. A little bit of metaphor, a little bit of Yuri stuff in there. A couple of Yuri things, actually, if you decide that the poem is about Sayori. At the very least, it was good practice. Maybe the poem's about Yuri. Maybe there's some Yuri stuff about Yuri in there. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go to Yuri, actually, speaking of her. Well done, Brady. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore, but it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone and their writing. And I guess doing some writing myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Brady? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know. As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. It's a great message, too. Everybody's just full of great fucking themes today. Everybody just came packed with their emotional heaters, ready to blast them away. That old anime Brady here. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. I almost miss their dynamic. I miss when he was just a stupid caveman and I could just cope with the tragedies that I sensed were becoming by insulting him. Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share. What's he doing here, though? Is he, like, hedging? Is he hedging his bets here? What am I saying? He's just coping with the Sayori stuff. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it out to sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. That's fucking real. There's another complication with this system, which is what happens if someone starts with radical acceptance with a self-insecure idea. Someone like Yuri, I could see, like, before she goes to trying to solve the problem, which is most people's first attempt, like, oh, I'm going to try to solve the problem of my insecurity by, like, trying to raise my self-esteem, trying to get better at something, trying to do whatever. But if we just start with, oh, I accept in totality that people will not like me, and we never explore other options to that, we're primed for this very interaction. And I would say to Yuri, why are you accepting something that you don't necessarily know other people feel? Yuri, what am I saying? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Oh, and to withdraw from things like that. I think that her problem solving is, yeah, like, solving the problem is withdrawing from it. Like, oops, I brought that up. That was, you know, inappropriate, or that was too weird. She's done this with, like, the knives and stuff as well. Let me solve the problem by, let's move on from this. This is, like, not worth talking about. And probably what she needs to do a little more of is, like, learn to be comfortable with the cognitive diffusion aspects of this. Like, can we learn to neutrally explore and discuss these very difficult things, like your insecurities, and some of the unhealthy ways that you relieve tension in yourself, right? Some of the cutting behavior. And can they be discussed without raising the tension just by bringing them up? Without the insecurity dominating and making us feel so uncomfortable that we want to sort of withdraw and pull away from the whole conversation. She also is doing a little bit of this too. Like, you know, people just dislike me, and she has like kind of a, well, she has a bias towards that idea, which may be reinforced by some genuine things. Maybe people really do dislike her, but we don't. And she's making that assumption based on some prior experiences, and is almost living in the fantasy of like, everyone will always start off with dislike for me, and I have to do my best to upgrade them to basic contentment, and an actual genuine respect is unachievable. Like, she wasn't even ready to receive "I respect your opinion" as a statement like that. It was like, oh, you're worried about my opinion. I'm fearsome. I must be so repulsive. I'm sitting here thinking, how long are these episodes? Like, how long is the whole series at this point? All these people have so many deep mental health things going on. I just can't believe there's this much material to pour through. All right. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay, here. Oh shit, this is a new poem as well. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface, under a clean blue sky, an expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds, an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. Okay. I'm enjoying this one more than I liked her other additional poems. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet. But where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle, yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back, and I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore. Okay. This is such a nice turn of phrase. The easiest world to get lost in is the one where everything can be found. I don't know if this is the intention, but my brain goes to like all of this stuff, like the mind populated with anxiety. Like, you can find almost every single anxious thought available to you and worry yourself to death over things that are either happening or not happening or have yet to happen. And like, your mind is an infinite place that you can get lost in and find any idea you want to justify and rationalize any negative sensation. We can be quite lost in that mindscape. And this is a clever thing too. We can only build sandcastles when the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. So it's like futility, right? You can only build something because of the very same thing that will eventually destroy it. Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. Like, in the face of futility, we still try to create things, and well, we know that the world won't last forever, but is that any reason or incentive not to like develop ourselves in it? That's great. I actually really like that. But she also puts herself at the shoreline and turn back, I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward and I return to the earth forevermore. I mean, it's kind of the same idea. Either way, the outcome is the same. Like, I'll perish, but at least on the boundary line, there's peace. I'm actually curious to see what she says. This is my favorite poem of hers. I'm just gonna say it. This kind of redeems her writing a lot for me. I did not like the one that she wrote for us. I became a certified Yuri hater after that, and after many of the moments with her on the weekend, but I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about. It's quite a deep exploration of the theme, though. But I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Natsuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles or thought processes. Didn't she say that you came up with this? Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. I think these two are in love. I think they're just in love. I think that the two of them need to come forward and say, Sayori, we don't give a shit about Anime Brady because we've got each other. And Monika's out of the picture, okay? Just forget about Monika. She's got her own fucking thing going on, all right? But Yuri and Natsuki, they can be an item, and so can you and Anime Brady. So no need to worry. You're not in competition for us. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It could be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Interesting he didn't point that out, that they both said the other person came up with it. Who should I show my poem to now? I guess it's Monika. Hi, Brady. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give that some more thought. So from here, where do we go? I think we skip forward, right? This is all well-traveled territory. Oh no, here's some new stuff. It's kind of funny. How so? What did she say? Okay, this is the poem. No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Oh, are you, Monika? You're surprised at that. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together, haven't you? I guess you could say that. That's very observant of you, Monika. It's quite nosy of you. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me about how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well, Brady, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Okay, Anime Brady. That's not true, you fucking snake. You're never this sentimental with Sayori as you have been in her recent scenes. All right. Just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It'd be terrible if something bad happened to her. So keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Oh. Are you jealous, Monika? Yeah, she is. Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, all right? All right. Okay. Proceed! We've seen this before. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Let's proceed to where we're talking about Sayori. I hope she's all right. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well. Damn. Natsuki. Before, I would have said, yeah, lay into this guy. He deserves every second of it. He deserves more elbows to the rib. But this time, give him a break. So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier, and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations. So, let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. Well, we're never going to make it to that weekend, because I do believe that I'm actually not supposed to progress much further than, well, confessing my love to Sayori. I'm pretty sure none of this matters, and I have to just go home with Monica, no? So, because we've seen all this, and I have analyzed all of it already, we're going to proceed just to collect the scene. And the very next thing would be Act 2 with Natsuki, where many of you have bizarrely, excitedly, been looking forward to seeing her mental health decompensation as well. Because you're all just sick like me, okay? And you find the same kind of infatuated entertainment value as I do in seeing people in rapid decline and trying to understand them. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to progress basically from here, going through Act 2, catching some Monica scenes, and I don't know, let me know if you'd like to see the side stories sort of crammed in between that and whatever new ending, or if you'd like to see the ending and then the side stories as a sort of nice way to cap things off. I'll leave it up to you. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I do not have the heart to break Sayori's again for like the 6th time. So I will just proceed off camera and say that I'm looking forward to ruining Natsuki's life again with all of you. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.